awesome outsourcing. And I'm Tawnya Sutherland, and we're going to talk with Michelle today and pick her brain a little bit. She's one of our 20 awesome speakers at the Virtuoso Summit that I'm holding at the, I guess it's like 10 days away now. It's getting closer and closer and closer. And yeah, she's going to be speaking with us, and she's going to be talking about, let me get this exactly straight, what her session's about, but it's how to use automation to scale your VA business into an agency, which is really exciting. Michelle, just a little bit about her before, she's being so patient waiting to talk. But she went from being an MBA graduate to having a second grade IQ level overnight after suffering from a life-altering stroke at 36 years of age. I can't even imagine, Michelle. And you've had to learn how to automate and outsource as much as humanly possible. So now she's on a mission to help others find freedom using the strategies and tips and stuff that she's learned along the way. And I'm really excited to have you speaking with us, Michelle. So that's how you got into doing this outsourcing so much, right?
Yeah. It was a total accident. I was at work one day and all of a sudden couldn't see the computer screen and thought, oh, gee, my monitor burned out. And yeah, my monitor didn't burn out. My brain burned out.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Yeah, but anyway, the silver lining from the stroke was that this amazing business got built, and now we now have 20 employees, and it's just absolutely fabulous. We're able to help so many people, so it's been amazing.
Yeah, no, I love when positive things happen because of things like that, right? Like, yeah. I don't know if it would happen for me. Like, I just, what am I going to do? But like, you took the reins there and worked with what you had, and good for you. I mean, awesome outsourcing. I love my favorite word, if anybody knows here, like anybody that knows me, is Tawnya, all you ever say is awesome. Well, like, that's my favorite word. So when I saw your link that's how we met at another conference, because yep. We were both speakers, I thought, oh, I got to connect with Michelle because, that's my word. Awesome outsourcing. So very cool. If you guys are in the audience and you want to type something, what happens in the audience is that it will show you as a, what do you call it? Anonymous caller or something in the audience. But there's a link right there. And if you click on it, supposedly it starts to show your name for us. And it's all those Facebook.
Hey, Chanel.
Yeah, there's Chanel. And yeah, that's how so we can see your name, and we can see your name, Chanel. And that's very cool. But yeah, I'm excited, Michelle, to have you speaking with us. Do you want to tell us a little bit what you're going to be speaking about at the conference?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I created the slide deck for this, I was super excited because I literally just went through every process that I use to find a really good virtual assistant, and then how do I onboard them into our company. And so I came up with about 8 different super easy processes that once you set in place, mm-hmm. It will do the majority of the work for you. So I'm going to tell you exactly where to go to find incredible talent, how you can filter through all the resumes that you're going to get and figure out which ones are the golden nuggets in the group. Then once we take a look at their resume, how do we test them to make sure that what they say is actually going to jive with their actual skills, right? Because sometimes we put things on resume and it doesn't necessarily translate over. So we've got an awesome way to be able to vet people. We're going to talk a little bit about, how much do we pay them and how do we pay them? What are the systems that we use to be able to take the money, whether it's, from Canada or the United States, and transfer it into a different currency. And then we're also going to talk about the systems in the back end to be able to monitor track and do our billing, so that when we're billing other clients, how do we know, what they were working on and how many hours, and it's become a very seamless, easy process that has made it pretty slick to be able to go from one person agency or one person VA business to building out an agency. And it's all about the systems. Once you get the systems in place, it becomes incredibly easy to build an agency side.
Yeah, and they always say it's in the systems, right? But most of us don't have them in place.
Yeah, and nobody wants to tell you, right? Because it was it was a lot of work to put it in place. But I'll have some people that are getting mad at me for telling everybody how to build an agency. But it's okay. I'm totally cool with that. I'm gonna pull the curtains back and show you everything that I use.
Now, are you doing that in your webinar with us?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna show you guys everything. Like I'm literally going to give you every single link that I use. Like inside of the seminar itself, it's okay. Here's the piece of software. Here's the link to use. Here's the piece of software. Here's the link to use. So I literally take you step by step exactly how I do it in my company.
So we are going to get hands-on how to use automation to scale your VA agency from you. That's really cool. And I'm excited about that. Are there anyone, I know Chanel, you're maybe doing an agency eventually here. And I know that, but it's kind of scary when you start thinking about it, bringing on all these people. And
Yeah.
I
That's
know
something else we're going to talk about too, is the contracts that you need to have in place to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And how do you bring on an independent contractor, and how do we deal with confidentiality and non-competes and things like that. So, and I'll be totally transparent, because I've had super positive things happen, and then I've gotten bit in the butt a couple times because I didn't have my ducks in a row. And so hopefully you can learn from my mistakes and get your system set up right away.
How many do you have in your agency now that you're
22.
22. Like, that's just such a handful, when I know there's people in the audience that are thinking, wow, I can hardly handle 1 or 2 VAs. How do you handle 22 of them? But again, it's your systems, your communication is important, I'm sure.
It's super easy. Like, as we grew past 10, at 10 was when it started to get a little hairy and I kind of needed a manager. So now I have a manager who literally checks in with everybody every day. Mm-hmm. And what's amazing is the software does 90% of it. And then my manager does the other 10%. So my manager actually has her own client that she works with too, because there's enough time, because the software works so well. We have so many systems set up that it's pretty seamless. And I would love to tell you that I'm sitting here, like just working 10 hours a day and pulling my hair out, and I'm not, which I know makes some people upset, but we've set the systems up so well that I work 2 to 4 hours a day, 3 days a week, and that's it.
And that's what it's all about. Because I mean, for me, that's why I went into business as a VA, was to have that freedom to work whenever I want and not a lot. I mean, I'm a sleep in the morning person. I don't even come in the office till noon. It was hairy for me to get here to this Facebook Live by noon, right?
So can I tell you a super cool story?
Yes.
Okay, so last Thursday, I just got this wild hair up my butt. It was my mom's birthday, and I live in Oregon, and my mom lives in Florida. So, there's 3,000 miles between us. Yeah. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to go see my mom for our birthday. Mm-hmm. And so I literally hopped on a plane and showed up on her doorstep Thursday night. She had no idea I was coming. I was like, hey, Mom, I'm here. And I literally was able to just walk away from the business. We had, while I was gone, so I got back Monday, we had 530 hours worth of work that was done. I didn't do anything. Literally, I didn't check my email. I took my mom to Busch Gardens and we went to the beach. And the agency ran completely without a hiccup. And I do that frequently. I'll take off 2 weeks at a time. Mm-hmm. And I bet I check my email 2 or 3 times the whole 2 weeks I'm gone,
Mhm.
because because the systems just work. They just work well. And so you get to do, like, once you build these systems, you get to do all these cool things. Like, you can, like, I hopped on a plane and went and saw my mom just because I felt like it, right? And that was not planned, right? I was just like, I miss my mom. I'm gonna go see her. And so I did, right? So
No, that's a really cool story, and, just to be able to just do whatever you want when you want. Yeah, so perfect. How long did it take you, Michelle, to build up to have 22 VAs? I mean, you were put in a spot where you had to immediately outsource, and maybe that was an advantage to you because you had your why right there. You had to do it. But how long did that take you to?
yeah, so I would love to tell you that I had a stroke and the next day I started outsourcing.
Oh,
It didn't quite work like that. It took me 3 years to get better,
mhm.
with a lot of, like, physical therapy and occupational therapy and things like that. But then, once we started the actual business and created the agency, it took me about a year and a half to get up to 22
Wow, that's
employees.
just simply amazing. It's really inspirational to hear it, right?
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of EAs out there still struggling years and years after trying to get this agency happening. Now, with an agency comes you have to have a lot of clients too, right? To fill the work in there for the
Yep.
people. Um, like, does your VAs, do they find your clients, or are you doing the client finding part of it?
Yeah, so, that's a great question. It actually goes right into the question that Maya just asked. Um, so I am actually the one that's going out and I'm finding the clients. And so, Maya, to answer your question, so everybody knows, her question was, how do you create your payments? Do you pay by the hour? So when I'm billing my clients, they have a set number of hours per week that each VA works for them. So for me, that minimum is 30 hours. So for you to be a client of ours, you need to have a virtual assistant working a minimum of 30 hours a week for you. So we'll do 30 or 40. And then I bill them based off of 120 hours a month. And so, yes, we absolutely, hi from Germany, Maya.
Yes.
So yeah, we absolutely, we bill by the hour. We used to try to do it billing by the project and it ended up just being a nightmare. So I would say if you had set packages that you knew exactly how much time it was going to take, that would be okay. But if you don't know that, what'll end up happening is, just from my own personal experience, I ended up getting burned because I would sell it for this package, and then there was a whole bunch of rework that needed done or something, and I ended up losing money. So that's why we went by the hours. So anyway, sorry, Tanya, I just kind of hopped right in there.
No, I love that. That's a great. I'm just going to clear our screen a little bit so we can see you pretty face there. I've got all these things up. I forgot to take them down. But now you said 30 hours, and I'm just going to ask this. So I know a lot of VAs have these agencies where they have clients come in and do 1 hour or 5 hours. Personally, to me, that isn't enough hours
Right.
to make it worth my time even getting to know the client. So
Yeah.
do you have a minimum 30, and how do you bring them in right off the bat on the 30, or do you bring them in on a smaller hourly to get to know what they need? Or
Yeah, so when we started out, we did 10 hours a week. So you had the option of 10, 20, 30, or 40. And what happened was, from the agency side, it ended up kind of being a nightmare because I needed 4 clients to each have 10 hours to fill up one full-time VA. And inevitably, what happened was, 2 of the 4 clients would have a deadline due at 4 o'clock on Friday. And so you ended up with conflicting responsibilities, because they had more than one boss, right? Because they had 4 different clients. And so what we ended up doing was saying, you know what, we're going to hire one person specifically for you. And this is your
okay.
VA. This is who works for you. They know your business inside and out, so that they didn't have those conflicting deadlines. So we're able to hire them full time. You have, from the agency side, the client has somebody who knows their business inside and out, and that was really when it started to click and take off. And you're right. There are a lot of people that are like, oh, I only need 10 hours. I only need 20 hours. Okay, great. That's awesome. I'm super happy to hear that. We are not the company for you. And so I'll actually refer them to a friend of mine who does 10 or 20 hours. But for my company specifically, it just doesn't work, right? Because we hire and train specifically for that client based off of that client's software. We create the standard operating procedures for them. We pre-train them on all the tasks that they're going to have to do. And so by doing that, you're right. It's just not financially feasible to do it for less than 30 hours. And so that was the cutoff for us.
Yeah. And a great cutoff and a great way to figure it out and manage it, right? I mean,
all by making mistakes.
Yeah, all by making mistakes, but you live and learn, right?
Yep.
That's what happens. And Myra, that I think that answers, you asked, isn't it hard to set priorities for you? That kind of answers that right there. Like that VA is doing that person's work. So
and
everything they have is their priority.
And that's exactly why we did it, because there was conflicting priorities. And, if we can't get both done, who doesn't get their stuff done? And that's never a fun conversation. So
for anybody that's just joined, I'm talking to Michelle Thompson. She's at awesomeoutsourcing.com. And she's one of our speakers, speaking next on the 25th at my summit. In fact, we're going to give anybody in the audience here a free ticket using Michelle's affiliate link to come to the conference. And I'm going to throw that in because sometimes it takes a few minutes to show up. If it doesn't show up, Myra, Chanel, whoever's in the audience, let me know. It takes like a minute or so to come around and show. But I
think it's there.
Free silver ticket, which is valued at $37 to attend all of these live. And Michelle is on our last day because she's on our scaling day, right? The people that really want to scale come on the last day for sure, because I've got some great speakers there talking about scaling. And hers is how to use automation to scale your VA business into an agency, which is really cool. And on top of it, this is her coupon code just to get into see it for free, right? But if you upgrade, you get the recordings, which I'm sure you guys will want to upgrade too, right? And get all the recordings. Plus, let me tell you one of the cool things that's in our swag bag, because I'm in the middle of reading it right now between getting ready for the conference. But Michelle's running on autopilot. That's cool that you have it there. The PDF version, how to find, train, hire, and remotely manage a virtual assistant is in it. And it's awesome, guys. I'm like halfway through it in the midst of all the stuff I'm doing this week, getting ready for the conference, because it's that good. But you will get a copy of that as a gold or diamond ticket holder. And that's just one product out of 5,000 that's in the swag. Okay.
Yeah, mine's tiny compared to what other people like. Seriously, check out that swag bag because there's some incredible stuff in there.
Yeah, there's incredible stuff. But you guys can get in free to just come and listen to Michelle speak on Friday on the 29th, I think she is. But it's a whole week long of 20 speakers with some awesome stuff. If you're a freelancer, web developer, virtual assistant, someone that wants to sell their services, creative, technical, administrative online, you're going to want to come to it because there's tons of stuff to teach you how to find clients. So ask the questions in here if you have any for Michelle. I've only got her for another few minutes here, but Michelle, I'm thinking, what would be your awesome piece of advice or nugget or whatever you want to call it for someone that's right now sitting out there? Maybe they just started their agency or they want to start an agency. What do you want to tell them about doing that?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is don't worry about, because we're always like, oh my gosh, where are we going to be able to find clients, right? There's an unbelievable need out there, right? And the way that you set yourself apart is to become niche specific. If you can find your one area that you're really, really good at. So maybe it's growing Instagram or whatever. Ours is the way that we're different is we find and we pre-train a VA and create the standard operating procedures. Most people don't do that. And so that's where we've really kind of taken our niche in the market, because it's not just a regular VA. We're actually going to go into your business, tear your business apart, find it, figure out how we're going to train that person, and then hand them off pre-trained. So if you can, and so it's a VA agency, but it's a little shift, right? And so if you can find that little shift for you, so if you can become like really good at, getting 20,000 followers based off of Instagram reels, or like, oh my gosh, people would come to you with money, like, take my money, right? Or, maybe you're really good at growing a Facebook group, or you're really good at setting appointments on LinkedIn, like whatever your niche is. And, I would challenge you become even more specific, right? Maybe you're really good at setting appointments for real estate agents with other brokers, right? Or whatever that is, to create partnerships. Like if you can get super niche, then it becomes super easy to build your systems, because you're only talking to that one specific person, and you know exactly how to target your market, and the clients will come out of the woodwork. I can't even tell you how many people we turn away because we have not turn away, but like there's a wait list, right? Mm-hmm. So you won't have problems finding clients.
Yeah, the niches are in the riches. That's what they always
exactly say. Yeah.
And I think that is a big concern, is where am I going to find the clients? I mean, that's why you guys are coming to the conference, right? Because the conference theme is how to find and retain clients. So obviously you're still looking out there, but there is going to be someone speaking about niches, whatever you call it, depending where you live. And I'm really excited. There's so much you're going to learn at the conference, but great piece of advice, Michelle. Let me just see. Maya asked, do companies ask for a trial time? Your agency's a bit different though. They pay to come in and you train a VA to work for them, right? Now, does that VA leave with the client after, or does it still stay in your agency?
It depends. We have both models set up. So if we want to, if somebody wants us to direct hire for them and pre-train them, we will for a set price. And then if they want us to manage the person, it's the exact same process. It's just they come under the agency, and then my managers take care of all the HR and the tracking. As far as a trial, we don't really offer one. We don't have to. Just because, so how do I put this? So we actually charge somebody to go out and find, hire, and train them. So we charge an onboarding fee. And then in addition to that, before they ever even get the virtual assistant, they have to pay upfront for the first month. And we don't offer refunds because it's very labor intensive. Now, obviously, if we screw up and we do something wrong, I'm going to go back and I'm going to make that right. Yeah. But my contract specifically says that we do not offer refunds. And the reason for that is when I first started out, I thought, oh, I'm going to be really nice. Don't worry about it. Everybody's okay. And what happened was we billed at the end of the month, and we had a couple of people skip town. And so we had a VA that worked for them for the entire month. I paid the payroll and they skipped town. So I have it set up. We don't work until money's in hand, and it's just, it's been a lot easier that way.
Yeah. I didn't in the very beginning get my money first, and I lived and learned, right? And so much easier to get your money up front and then do the work. You're not worrying about last month trying to chase people down, because that's crazy time trying to do that. And
yeah, I give people a buffer. They basically have they can be 3 to 5 days overdue. And if after that, then I send an email, your employee will not be showing up tomorrow. Yeah. It's amazing how fast they pay.
Exactly. And I think, again, what with the trial thing, Maya, you're probably thinking, again, think bigger than bringing on somebody as a trial. Think big, like, this isn't going to be a trial. We're just going to fix you up and help you. Like, it's not, it's a mentality too with the client and you when you start saying trial. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say, Michelle? Because then it's like, trial, well, is it not going to work out? Like, just go in really strong-headed. This is my process, or this is my package. It's not a trial. You're coming on board and we're going to make this work for you, right?
Yeah. And that's that little pivotal shift makes all the difference in the world. And a lot of times, like if I have somebody who is talking to us and they want to hire a VA for lead generation, I'll be very clear and tell them, hey, we're not going to really get you any leads for the first 90 days. So you better be able to chew through 3 months at zero profit until it's up and running. And so what we try to do is we actually under promise and then try to over deliver. And so if I think that it's going to take us 6 weeks to start booking them appointments, I'm going to double that. I'm going to tell them, hey, we're not doing anything for 3 months, right? So that their expectation in their mind is, okay, this is going to take 3 months. It's going to cost me X. And then when they start getting results in 6 weeks, they're like, holy crap, this is, sorry, this is awesome. But as far as from the flip side, when I bring on an employee, I do put them on a 30-day trial. So they don't get benefits or PTO or anything like that in the first 30 days. And I'm going to know in the first week or two if they're going to like work out. My screening system's pretty good. We really don't have many issues. But I'll know in the first week or two, like, yeah, you're not going to cut it on our team. Have a nice life. So
what do you mean by PTO?
Oh, paid time off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for anybody who works under our agency, I have a crazy awesome benefits package that I give them.
Oh, awesome.
So they get 12 days of PTO, they get US holidays off, they get a 13-month bonus. We pay them weekly and we pay the transfer fees. So we pay for their health insurance, their retirement. And so what I've tried to do is build out so that we become the place to go. Like, we want you to come work for us because we're such an awesome company. And so not only do we help our clients out, but my job is to eliminate poverty in the Philippines. And so by doing that, we just give incredible benefits package. So
that's awesome. It's awesome outsourcing.
It's awesome outsourcing.
Awesomeoutsourcing.com. Okay, that Michelle is speaking with us. I'm not going to keep you any longer, Michelle. This is awesome. We need to all come and listen to her speak on Friday, October 29th at my VA Summit. And there's a coupon code, Michelle20. Go to the bit.ly link there and you will sign up there and get a silver code to listen to her speak, plus 20 other speakers. Plus you're going to get her outsourcing book actually you only get that if you upgrade. So that's your encouragement, inspiration to upgrade is to get the book. But with or without the book, you're going to learn a heck of a lot in her session, and I'm excited for it. And Michelle, I can't thank you enough for inspiring all these agency people out there. And I'm excited for your webinar. I don't know if I can wait till the end of the week. You're like the 18th speaker, and to listen to it, but exciting. And Michelle, thanks so much. Michelle's from Awesome Outsourcing, and you can learn more about her there. And thanks so much for speaking with us, Michelle.
Oh, thank you, Tawnya. It's been a pleasure. Appreciate it. And I have a surprise. I've negotiated with one of the companies. So it's in the process. So I haven't gotten a definite answer yet, but I believe that they're going to be giving everybody a $75 voucher to try their system out, which is incredible because that's like, it's basically being able to test 12 people for free, which is awesome. So I'll get into all that. But I'm excited.
I'm excited. It's going to be great. Okay, everybody. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks, everyone, for showing up. And we'll see you at the summit, 25th to the 29th. There's your free ticket in the chat area. Use that bit.ly link, and the coupon code is Michelle20 to get in and listen to Michelle next in 10 days. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye, Michelle.